All right, hey, this is Paul Salo from paulsalo.com, paulsalo.com. And today is really special. I'm bringing a very special guest, Stacey Herbert from the Brazen Profit Lab. So I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself. Hey, Stacey.
Hi, Paul. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
How you doing?
Very good. Yeah. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about the Brazen Profit Lab.
Okay, so Brazen Profit Lab is an e-commerce consulting agency that I started a couple of years ago. It was actually under a different name then. I was primarily focusing on copywriting, but I was getting in a number of clients that just needed so many different skill sets, and I found that I either had them or knew how to outsource them and could bring them into my team. So kind of what I was doing expanded, and it became not Brazen Copywriter anymore, but Brazen Profit Lab. And now I do a variety of group coaching, one-to-one coaching. I broker joint venture partnerships between different e-commerce brands, and I work with brands to basically stop struggling and start selling. And I like to focus on the smaller guys who can't necessarily go to the big boy agencies for their marketing support. So that's basically what I do here.
And you're doing both online products and also physical products, right?
Okay, so I sell online products. I've got digital products and information products. They're mainly my gateway products into either my membership services or my retained marketing services.
Okay.
But my clients all sell physical products. So I don't really work with anybody that sells what I sell. They're all physical products.
Right. But the skills, the sales skills, that's what they want from you, right? They want the ability to reach people online.
Yes, 100%. They come to me when they realize that they've built this store, and they've kind of subscribed to the build it and they'll come philosophy, and they built it and no one came, So they come to me when they're ready to get visible, and I work with them with strategy and implementation and split testing and just basically getting them out there in the right way.
Right. What's the transformation that they go through? Like, if you could describe them before, during, and after. What do you see? Where do they go from where to where?
A lot of my clients come to me where they're kind of making very little money. So they come in, they've invested a lot of money in a website. They've normally been ripped off a couple of times. And I come in and I'll pull their website apart and I'll show them where their website's leaking money to start off with. And we normally get them onto a platform that they can manage themselves. That's one of the first parts of the transformation, is that a lot of people have sold these kind of behemoth e-commerce systems that is too big for their needs and they don't know how to manage them themselves. So they're kind of prisoners to these shady developers somewhere. The first transformation is giving them back ownership of their business. And then it's working with them on their positioning, their branding, their product, their message, their stories. That they have something to actually sell rather than boxes of polyester dresses somewhere. And just kind of getting them to understand their marketplace a lot better and how to connect with that marketplace at a level that's authentic and real and add some value, because most of the people that I work with, their biggest competitors are ASOS, Amazon, Forever 21, companies that unless you've got money for adverts, you'll never compete with. So that's transformation number 2. And then a lot of what I do also is very mindset driven. It's getting people to believe in themselves again, that they've got something worth selling, and giving them structures and strategies and keeping them focused and butt whipping. I do a lot of butt whipping.
Don't come over here.
Oh, sorry.
I see. So let me regurgitate a couple ideas I thought was interesting. So you're helping them sell, but at the same time, what you're doing is you're kind of finding out more about their customer than they even knew, and thinking of things to do with that knowledge, right? They're a little bit blind, right? They don't understand. They're trying to sell more of a certain product, but you're getting in touch with the customers and finding out more about them, and then possibly opening up new avenues.
One of the biggest issues I see with my clients, clients and customers, is that a lot of them don't know who the customer is. They really don't, And one of the first questions I'll ask them is, who is your ideal customer? And you'll be surprised at how many people just say, well, everybody. And I'm just like... And it's not, horrible way, but I realize it's that they just want to sell, but they don't understand the sales process. And they don't understand that in order to sell more, that they need to niche down and really get laser targeted on who their ideal customer is, because they'll sell more that way. So a big part of my job is actually getting them to not try and sell to everybody, but to find their audience and to go all out for that audience.
Okay. I got you. So it's much more than helping them sell. It's really, okay, it's much deeper. Okay. Well, you had a look at my stuff. What did you think? Yeah.
So we're talking about the stuff that you sent me yesterday. So your China Cash Buyers course. I definitely did have a look at it. And I've actually got a page full of notes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That I took.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the videos.
Yeah.
I didn't actually watch the videos, but I went through the actual process of getting to the videos, and I read your emails, etc. And I've definitely got some ideas of ways that you can kind of spice it up a little bit, you know?
Wow. Okay. Great. I'd love to hear, because this is like amazing, right? You guys, what you're watching here, because she just saw my email. Stacey just saw my emails, and she's not a realtor, she's not a real estate agent, and she's just looking at it, going, like, I understand what's going on here, and let me put it into perspective. Let's get this thing. Let's spice it up. All right, let's go for it. Yeah.
One thing I will say is I don't believe I have to be a realtor to be able to look at your funnel objectively in terms of the sales cycle and the buyer's mindset, which I think, irregardless of the product, generally tends to be the same. From unawareness to contemplation to do I want this to those objections, and I just kind of took that framework and applied it to your product.
Okay.
So the very first thought that I had, and how raw do you want me to be here? Shall I sugarcoat stuff, or shall I just go?
Go ahead and go for it. Yeah.
Okay. So the very first thought that I had was on your sign-up page.
Yeah.
The graphic, it's got a ton of information on it, and I'm going to assume it's kind of to bring about social proof, right?
I didn't really think about it. I tested it. I did A/B testing, and I tried. I didn't try everything. I tried like a Chinese family, because they often buy real estate. I tried pictures of Shanghai. I tried, wealthy buyers, like with nice cars and things like that. And then I tried with the headline, which is right now, if you go to ChinaCashBuyers.com, you guys will see those headlines, right? Like Chinese are buying in this area in Miami and things like that. So I tested it, and that had the highest conversion of any of the other ones that I tried.
Okay.
Because I use lead pages, and they allow you to do really easy A/B testing. But I'm
in lead pages. I love them.
Yeah. Lead pages is awesome. Yeah, good support too.
Definitely.
But yeah, no. Tell me, because I've only it beat the other ones, but now it's been that way for a long time. I haven't changed it. I've thought about so many different things. What are your thoughts?
So here's the thing. If you have already tested these pages against other graphics, everything I always say is I'll give an opinion and I'll say some ideas that I think you can tweak it, but the numbers don't lie, right? And as long as you've got enough traffic to be able to have reasonable data, against both pages, it's not about whether you think it's prettier or sexier or nicer or you like it, about what the numbers say, But my very first thought was that it's so busy. I look at it and my eyes almost don't know where to go. So if I'm looking at this page and I'm maybe short on attention or short on time, the fact that I can't look at it and see the value bang immediately, you might have lost my attention.
Okay.
A little bit of an issue with the resolution of the images, and they seem like cool things.
No, that's on purpose. That's on purpose. Yeah, that's on purpose, because was it Eben Pagan was doing graphics that were not clear, so that you're curious about what is really there. So I'm gonna implement this, and I'm gonna show you. I don't mess around. I get things done. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make that image more transparent, so that it's not as busy. It's softer, and I'll do a test with as is now, and then a softer, more transparent picture, more white looking, like, you know, like kind of covering up the graphics a little bit. And then I want to try another one. So what you think maybe with less headlines, maybe?
Well, here's the thing, like, I can totally understand why with that many images, having it more transparent even just makes it easier to look at, you know what I mean? Like, like more blurry as you've got it right now, because if it's really bright and everything stands out, it's really hard on the eye. So I can understand why you would dull it down a tiny bit. But just for me, that image is very, very, very overwhelming, and nothing, unless I'm really paying attention and really dialed in, nothing really jumps out at me. So unless I'm totally your person coming onto your landing page for the first time, I don't feel it does a strong enough job of getting what it is you're about and what you're doing straight away. Let me just, give me one sec here. That landing page, I've got it open here. Yeah, so you've got USA Today, Forbes. I mean, I can see a lot of these big names that I would mention, and then you've got a really big headline. Let me come back over to you here. But I kind of feel that I would like to see an aspirational picture. With some of this maybe in the side, but in terms of your ideal customer, as you said, like maybe someone who's really established in this field, looking for another vertical to go into, is maybe going, right, China's hot, it's where the money is.
Yeah.
I want a piece of that, you know? And almost having a person in there so that it isn't just headlines, but linking the human aspect of this to the monetary headline, you know, groundbreaking aspect of it. As I said, everything I say, you always take it with a pinch of salt. You test it. If it doesn't work, you go back to what's working, you know?
Right.
That was my first initial thought. Now, the next thought I had was your headline. It felt somewhat vague to me. How to cash in on the $1.4 trillion wave of Chinese buyers. Now, Chinese buyers of what? I mean, we've come onto the store. Does your course help people sell to China, work with Chinese buyers generically across the board? Is it art? Is it foreign cars? Is it real estate? Is it rare books? Is it bonds? Like, Chinese buyers of what? If the course isn't a generic course where it teaches you how to work with Chinese buyers, period, if it has a singular context, or there is a real context, I would bring that into your headline.
Okay.
Into your headline, so that if I'm a broker, as you said, I know immediately that this is a course that's going to teach me how to tap into this $1.4 trillion wave of Chinese real estate buyers, you know?
Okay.
So I would test that headline.
Totally. That's done. That's done. And that's a hole that I didn't see. You know, when I think of Chinese buyers, I think of, you know, if you look online, Chinese buyers, it's usually real estate. But you're right. They might be selling airplanes or something like that, right? They might be confused. Absolutely. Or the age of... Yeah.
I just think that there are major buyers from this country, but in many different niches, you know, tons of different niches. Maybe they're not, as you said, maybe they're not buying real estate, but they're buying art. They're buying land with no property on it. They're buying jewelry, artifacts. I mean, there's so many different things that they could be purchasing. So I just feel like this headline is just somewhat vague. And when you put that with the image underneath, I'm just not necessarily sure what I'm signing up for at this stage. As I said, I'm not necessarily your target customer, so I might not have the mindset that your target customer would have. You know?
No, you're right. You're right, because we do get signups for gem salesmen and things like that. That we do get signups like that, and I assumed it was because no, this is good. This is good. I'm going to try this. Yeah, absolutely. Okay,
so my next thought was...
Yeah.
Give me one sec, because I'm actually just opening the page here.
Okay, cool.
So the next thing that I would love to see here is on your opt-in box, when you open it up, straight away, a big part of your product is you. As you've said, you know, it's your story, it's your experience, it's your knowledge and your expertise. At the moment, there's no personal element to this. I would want a picture of Paul on that sign-up page that lets me know this is a legit person, this is a person, this is not some... I want to connect with a person who's going to teach me what they know from hustling on the floor, you know, like they know it. I'd love to see your face there as opposed to a picture of China. I know it's China, but I don't know you.
Okay.
So personalize it. Bring the human to come.
Nice. Yeah, because I get afraid of being on there so much. Like, I don't want to sell myself. I'm selling what I can transform them to do. But you're right.
Yes.
It needs to happen.
You are selling yourself, you know, because anyone can, I'm not saying anyone knows what you know, but anyone can deliver that information, but no one can deliver it like you. You know, so that, as you said, you've got clients that like buy the product just because they want to get into your sphere. They want to talk to you, you know. So put your face on there. Let people know this is a real human behind here who's got their 10,000 hours done, you know, and I'm going to hear and show it to you and share that with you.
More like 10,000 years.
Then it's mastery. You've got it, you know. Okay, so get started now. Awesome. So what I did actually sign up for it. One opportunity that I saw was being missed is that you don't have a one-time offer on the back of the sign up.
Oh, like what?
So
what could somebody offer?
So without knowing in depth, as I said, I haven't looked at the whole of the video. So I don't know exactly what value that you're giving on these videos, but I'd be looking at some sort of guide, a PDF, a Chinese etiquette guide. You know, what is one of the most important things that, as you said, one of the key things you teach in your program is how to liaise and do business with the Chinese. It's a very delicate, nuanced thing.
Yes.
You know, what could you sell on the back end of this opt-in that is like a welcome mat product? It lets people know from the very get-go that you know what you're talking about. It's low cost. They don't have to think about it. It's like $7 to $10. And straight away, you take all of that and you use that to pay for all the ads, you know, so the ads pay for themselves. So I would put a one-time offer on the back of that straight away. You know, it won't always convert, but it will quite often. You'll be surprised.
Yeah. What price point, off the top of your head, would you have as a one-time offer?
I'd be keeping it between the $7 to $10 mark. And don't think it will reflect negatively on your higher price point product. I don't think it does. What it does is it lets people, it makes them a customer of yours straight away. Yeah. And also, if you just like slay them with the value in that PDF from the beginning, they're like, well, if this is what he's giving me for $7, I have no clue how good this, $997 product's going to be. So straight away, you've given something that they can see the value that you have to offer. You've introduced them to your expertise. You've helped them get results on the front end.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
Give them a script for reaching out to a supplier. Give them some sort of email script that they can use. Tell them why it works. Tell them words to avoid, words to use. Help them get something on the front end where you're like, I would give this, take it. It's $7. I mean, if you can't invest $7 in learning this knowledge, probably you're not going to be too open to my higher price point product anyway, you know?
That's true. Because learning to deal with the Chinese it took me over 20 years, and it's not something, if someone's not willing to spend $7 to learn, important things about how to do it, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense because 20 years is insane to invest. If I could go back, I wouldn't spend that much time learning it.
Exactly. I mean,
but I did, and now I feel grateful because it's part of my life, But yeah, I mean, for somebody new, the market now moves very fast. When I went there, it moved very slow. So I was lucky. But now it moves very fast, and you're either going to be a successful broker with Chinese or you're not, right? So they need to learn quickly. So yeah, totally agree.
And I get the feeling that with the Chinese market, as I said, it's all about the relationship building. And I think you probably only get the one chance to make a first impression. And if you muck it up royally, people talk, they're on WeChat, and before you know it, you're blackballed in the Chinese business community. So you don't want to screw it up, And I can see the headline straight away, I'm going to give everything for me 20 years to learn and shortcut your learning process. Obviously, that's not the headline, but that's the emphasis that would be in it. And if I'm serious about this marketplace and you offer me that for $10, I would just be like, where do I sign up? Like, how do I buy this now? You know? So I think having a one-time offer on the back of that sign up before they go into the first video. Now, another thing that I would say as well is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, once I sign up, where does this page take me to? Does it take me to the first video straight away?
Yeah, I tried both. Right now it does. It does two things. It sends it in the email, and it also sends you to the first video. So okay. I don't like it sending to the first video because I want people to fully want what I have, right? So I want them to be willing to go to their inbox and to accept and to approve the message. You know, if they're interested in Chinese buyers, they're going to do it. They're going to click on something. They're not going to just expect it to come. You know, they're willing to give something. They're willing to give their name. They're willing to give their email. They're willing to be part of a process, and they're willing to study. Right. So, yeah, I would rather not have it pop up.
So why do you have it pop up right now?
I had a good friend of mine who's a copywriter. We redid the funnel last year, about a year ago, and he thought it was a good idea. And I said, well, I'll try it, you know. And then we switched it to the way it is now. But I think that valuable real estate is not being fully used. Yeah, I really want them to get used to, you know, to get the information, you have to go to your inbox. You can check out the website, you can check out the YouTube channel, you can check out the Facebook. But to get what I'm sending you, you got to go to your inbox and get it from there. So it's like training.
I tell you what I would put on the back end of that. I would put a video of you sat down speaking. I mean, I saw your beautiful home in Hollywood. I mean, you're selling some aspirations here, a lifestyle that people want to attain, which they're going to attain by tapping into a Chinese market. I would have a video of you at home, looking fly, and just speaking into the camera and saying, "Thank you for signing up. I'm Paul. Here's what I want to share with you, personalized. Tell them what to do. Whitelist my email. Come over and like me on paulsalo.com. You'll find me on Twitter here. Now, don't forget, now go on, I'll wait. Hop on over into your inbox where you'll be able to access the very first video. Like, let them learn more about you on the back end. Let them have to get the goodies in the inbox where you're training them to click from the get-go, you know? And that video, if they take the time to watch that video, 2 minutes is absolutely fine. But they go, okay, this is a real guy. It looks like he's got the lifestyle that I want. He seems really personable. He's got other social profiles. There's some social proof. I need to go into my inbox and find out what he just sent me, you know?
Hey.
Like, that's the psychology that you really want to be firing up at that point. And then you would get them over into their inbox, and then now you're training them to click on what it is that you're sending them.
Okay, that's perfect. I will do that. I will do that. I will create a new video.
Everything I say to you, test it against what you already have.
Yeah, but to test it, I need to create it. I'm going to create it. Yeah.
Okay, go do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my very should I keep going?
Sure. It's possible we'll get cut off and we'll have to get back on. But please go. Yeah.
Okay, as I said, if I'm waffling or jabbling on you, just let me know because I can be the both.
You are awesome. I mean, I'm telling you right now, people should get over to Brazen Profit Lab and buy your product. This is like so good. This is like so awesome. Really, you're like taking raw material and you're just nailing it. You're nailing it because I know my business. I've been doing it for three years. I've had this course, and you're hitting points that it's absolutely. It's just perfect stuff. So you're reading leaves, yeah.
Okay, so my next thought was, I read your copy. Now, for those, I'm a really big believer in that. If you cannot even be bothered to give me a name, like, you're not motivated enough, you're not driven enough, you don't want it enough. Your name is just step one in a much longer cycle. Just give me your name. And the reason why is it allows me to personalize my communication with you in a way that, I mean, some of my emails, I think people don't even know that they're part of an autoresponder, that they're automated. They send it back like, thanks for checking in on me. Why? It's just so personal, and their name's in it. It feels like I wrote it to them. We're developing that one-on-one relationship. And because you don't have that, your email started with "Dear friend," and straight away I feel like I'm getting a circular. it kind of felt a little bit like I'm going to get just didn't feel personal. I would rather not even have dear friend. I would come in with, hey, and come take me straight into a story. At the moment, and give me one sec, I'm just going to hop on in and have a little look at the very first email. I would take them into a story straight away. Tell them, give me a paragraph about you standing on the street, in 1987, selling art on the street, and drop me straight in where I'm just like reading, and then you come in really hard. Hi, I'm Paul Sala. Here's how I'm going to help you change your life. Here's how I'm going to help you build on the success that you've already had. And by then you've already got them engaged with your story a lot more. And because they saw you on the thank you page, now I've got a story that connects with the person. So now you're super real to them.
Wow, awesome. I was just telling her, she's blushing, Seriously, I've had this business for 3 years, and I have so many friends that are successful online marketers, real estate agents. I've shown this to so many people, and nobody has had the ideas that you've had. I mean, nobody has been able to. I can see you're picking apart the weak points, because a lot of the things you're mentioning, I've tried other things and I knew what worked, and I just didn't. Maybe because of inertia or whatever, I didn't switch it back to what it should have been. And other things, I'm like, it's just so dead obvious that that's what's missing, like personalization, right? So it's
100%.
You really know your stuff.
So should we dive back in?
Sure.
Okay, so I read your copy, and I kind of picked apart your copy a bit, but not at any serious level. But one thing that really stood out for me is it felt stiff. Now, if your customer is, I don't know the language. Like when I write copy for someone, one of the biggest parts of my job is really researching their audience, Then I like to do a pattern interrupt, which is that if everybody's talking in a really stiff insurance guy kind of language, I want to add a bit of sass, a bit of personality. I want to be the one person in their inbox where they're like, who is this guy, And to be the Marmite of what you do. You're either going to love me or you're going to hate me. You don't want inertia. You don't want people to be indifferent. You want people to be like, that's my dude. This is who's going to teach me how to do this. He's got personality. He's got character. He's got energy. I trust that learning with him isn't going to be boring. Don't be boring. That's my biggest bit of advice I give to people is like, give people something that makes learning from you a pleasure rather than just the information that you give. Because that's what keeps them coming back when the baby's crying or things didn't go well or they had a bad day at work or, the tax man's on them, all the rest of it, The fact that learning with you is enjoyable.
Let me tell you something. It's interesting you say that because that's what I do. I mean, that's the way I act. I'm very, it's either love me or hate me. If you watch it in my videos, you'll see that I never use a script. As you know, I've been in a lot of crazy situations in my life. And I'm not that corporate guy in any sensitive way. But with the copy, I had a professional copywriter write that. Those aren't my words in the emails. In the videos is mine, but the emails, I was afraid, it's a confidence issue. I was afraid.
Massive disconnect.
Yeah, I was afraid that if I don't feel like that I'm a great writer, That's why I make videos. So I love video. I love people. I'm not a great writer. I speak Chinese, I speak Japanese, but I don't write, and I've always been a little bit not confident in my writing, although I'm very confident in my poetry. I love to write poetry and haiku and stuff, but like writing like business stuff, I never felt confident. So that's why I got a copywriter to do those emails.
Okay, so I'm going to pause for a second and say you just gave me hairs stood up on my arm. And I'll tell you why. Do you know what I'd love to see at the beginning of your video on your thank you page? Speak Chinese, man. Like, they're going to be like, here's this white dude speaking Mandarin, like, super fluently. And, like, speak Chinese, make it funny. Then go straight into English. And now they're like, this guy's the truth. Like, he really knows what he's talking about. Show them that because if you're going after a Western audience that speak English, that is just it's a red stamp straight away. It's like, okay, like he's not some guy that read a couple of books, did a course, and is regurgitating someone else's content. You know, he really knows what he's talking about. So yeah, that was something that just came to my head just then. But
okay, great.
Just from speaking to you, watching your videos, when I read the copy, I was like, who is this? Didn't feel like, I don't even know you, but didn't feel like you.
Right.
It felt stiff. It didn't have this kind of, this energy. It just kind of felt a little bit flat. I mean, it follows some formulas, but I think, in my opinion, good copywriters know a formula, and then they take a formula and they mold it to fit the person who they're writing for.
Right. You know, it's so funny you say that, because a lot of my stuff is, if you watch any of my videos where I speak on stage, I tell people, like, if you're an unusual person and you're marketing to Chinese, you should say that. So, for example, if you have anything unique about yourself, like if you're gay, if you, whatever it is, like, a lot of people, when they market to Chinese, they become very standardized because they think, I don't want to offend them. You know, I don't want to, they don't know what to do. So they basically just act corporate, right? And it's funny because I was doing the exact same thing to them in my stuff, and I didn't even realize it. I thought, I can't write. I'm not a good writer. I better have somebody help me. Better have a professional, do this thing professional. Whereas if I was doing it myself, I would be learning. I would be putting my personality out there. So that my whole product is me. The whole thing, I shot it myself. But the copy of the marketing emails is not me. It's the one thing that's not me.
And it shows. I mean, don't extract the personality from the product, because I think that is what is going to make, as you said, at the moment, there's not many people doing what you do, but you know as well as I do, people are going to go, oh, Paul Solo's selling this, and before you know it, there'll be copycats coming up everywhere. And unless you bring that personality in, which is unimitable, nobody will be able to do what you do in that way. That's how you always stay ahead of that guy that tried to just like copy and paste what you did. So I felt that the copy was a little bit stiff. Now I'm going to get some technical stuff, right, in terms of where your link is. At the moment, you've got your link. Give me one sec. Your very first link is right at the bottom, and it's very short email, which isn't the problem, but it's below the fold. It means I don't see the link above the fold, which means that if I just hop into my inbox and then my phone rings or something happens, put your link in above the fold. Have an opportunity to click the link to start off with above the fold, because if I didn't read the middle, I'm going to read the open or your PS, which brings me to another point. You don't really have a PS. I think you've got a Sincerely Paul Solo, you've got your number, which is great, but you don't have a PS where you put the link again, right? Because your skimmers into blah, 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 they're like, oh, okay. But especially if I've read their friend, I'm not reading the rest. I'm going to go to the bottom. What's important for me here? You've got 4 seconds of my time. So put that PS again. Get that link in there. Say something to them that encourages interest, because I also noticed you've got, here's my number, give me a call. But give you a call about what?
That was the part I put in. That was the only thing I did, because I said, I'm a real person. And then
you can't get up on the phone. I get it.
The copywriter, he said, oh, that's a good idea. And then, it's funny, because that's the only thing I wrote, right? And I told him, of course I talked to him. We were together doing it for a few days, but that was exactly in my exact words, right? That part, I'm a real person. That was my word. And that's often what people say when they buy the product. They'll say, you know what, when I saw that, I saw you're a real person. I called you up. And then I thought, oh, I trust this guy. And then they went ahead and opted in the course, and they were happy they did. But it was because I was putting myself out there. And you're saying do it more, a lot more.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that, I don't know if you know Derek Sivers.
I've seen his name, but I don't know.
He's like one of the most approachable entrepreneurs I've ever met. Like, he actually makes it clear, I am a real person. I'm here, I'm approachable. And because of that, people flock to him. And I don't know if he spends a lot of time having people pick his brain, but when I think about approachability and how it works to really make you stand out, he's like a benchmark for me. And whereas you might not want like 50 billion people calling you a day, I would get even a bit more precise about why someone should call you. You know, I noticed that you have there's a call to engage, but there's no context within which you want them to do it. You know, what's your number one question about selling property to the China? Like, give them a context, because there'll be a lot of people who want to call you, but who just want to pick your brain, or who don't really know exactly what they want to answer you yet, or who just want to get on the phone and hear your voice. And if you give them a context within which to call you, you frame the conversation straight away, you know? I just feel like that engagement by giving, I've got my notes here, that's why I'm looking down to it, but that engagement of straight away of getting them to click your link, to click reply to this email, you know, to call you, you want to start the dialogue becoming personal straight away. So you're watching my videos, but there's this dialogue that's going on between us right now where you feel like you know me, you know? So by the time you get to video 3 and I'm saying, here's my main product, I don't have to convince you that I'm not going to rip you off, you know?
Right. Would you put, how about this? One of the things that I think people like the most is my YouTube channel. Because I went around to 45 cities last year in the U.S. and I did a video about each city, about, you know, what are Chinese buying, what are they thinking. I interviewed people in Chinese. I did all kinds of stuff. I did a lot of research, and I was like very personal and out there and real in the videos. So the YouTube channel is a lot of what connects me to people. Would you put that in the beginning? Would you have that as like something for them to watch, or is that too much?
At the beginning of the email?
Yeah, or somewhere in this process. Like,
who do you use as your email provider? Aweber, it looks like.
I use Aweber now, but I might switch. But either way, I use Aweber.
I'm thinking about that too. I was about to say search this morning.
Yeah.
What Aweber have is, obviously, you know, they've got some templates, right?
Yeah.
And with that drag and drop, I would put it into a footer. So it's a postscript at the end of all the information. And I would write some copy and take them to your best videos. Have a picture of you where it's like, if you've got to this part in the email, you clearly want to know a bit more. I've got it on mine, which says work with me, and it's got my URLs to my channels, etc. And I mean, I get people going over to my YouTube channel, joining my Facebook groups, just having another point of contact with me. And it means that you're lessening, you know, those 7 points of contact before people feel comfortable to buy with you. Every single one of them is a point of contact. So even just getting me over to the video, now I've watched one of the videos from the training, but I've also seen you like kicking it in China, like that. Okay, it's again another validator, and just kind of like bringing down all those objections, and all the no's become lesser and lesser and lesser. Lesser is not lesser, right? Less and less and less.
I hear you. You're getting loud and clear there. Yeah.
So I went into video 2, summarize over email 2 and email 3. But the things I saw with email 2 and email 3 is that you didn't link to video 1 in video 2.
Oh, right,
so
right.
There's no link that says, did you miss this? Now, if this is an important part of the funnel, I might not have seen the first video, which means you're dropping me into this in the middle of the information. So I would always link to the first video in the second video, and to the first and the second video in the third video, even though you can actually see it because it follows the, is it the Jeff Walker 1, 2, 3? You can see it in that lead page is set up. I totally get it. Just have it in the email, because I might go, oh, holy crap, I shouldn't watch video 2 because I might have missed a really important video 1. Let me click that and watch video 1.
Okay, so would you either reshoot the videos is one option, right? To put the connection to 1, 2, 3, and 4, or would you have it in the copy?
Yeah, just a link in the copy.
Okay.
Like, you don't have to reshoot anything. I mean, all that's missing is just a link to the first video.
In case you missed video 1. Okay.
Exactly, you know, because the more people go through the full funnel, the more people are going to come out at the end as customers. And at the moment, like, I get the second video, but if I missed the first video, if it went to spam, if I didn't fully watch it, you've not made it super easy for me to get that first video. Because by the time I get video 3, I should have everything that I'll see if I click video 3 in my email. Why? Because I'll go back to my email. I may never find that page again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's in my email, whereas on the page it's just a URL.
Well, and you know, it's interesting because a lot of the people you can on my the provider, I can see how many times they watch the video. And some people watch the video 21 times. So they really get a lot of value out of it. Like they go back and back and back and back and back and back, and they watch all the way through, right? And so if I make it easier for them, because those are the people who are good at bookmarks and saving and things. Maybe other people would just lose it and then wonder where it was.
Exactly.
Right.
And I love that. I don't know if you do you use Vimeo to host your videos?
I have some things on Vimeo. I'm using some Wistia and YouTube. And I'm also using the Chinese hosting also. So
I think it's like those people who watch the most times, they're your hottest leads. You know that, because they're just like fully engaged. This is a little bit naughty, but here's kind of what I would be doing with that. I would be maybe sending out a bit of an email, which was the best, which one did you like? I want an email that's like allows you to engage. Give me some feedback. Tell me one thing you got from this training. Any questions that you've got. And I'll tell you why, for those people that watched it 21 times, they'll email you back because they're connected, straight away. Another thing I noticed is that you didn't ask any questions about the video. So as I've got here, this is like a heavy topic. You're teaching people stuff that this is not throwaway information, Right. So where's the kind of pop quiz, Not that it's like not that you have to answer, but it's like saying, what did you get from this? Where were you confused? What have you got questions about? As I said, engagement, and like peppering those points through your copy, through your email, through your follow-up sequences. Like, I don't know whether you re-email the people who didn't open the first email.
I do. It automatically, yeah.
That goes out to them again, and it's like, for the people who didn't open the second email, I'd be like, hey, you missed this. Was there anything you didn't understand in video 1? Because it's like, if there's anything that's confusing to them, the minute that you've helped them get past their confusion, you're just breaking down these barriers of resistance that people have.
Can you set up Aweber to do that? Can you write like a broadcast and then have it send to people who didn't open up the first email and didn't open up? Really?
No, you have to do it manually, unfortunately. Okay. It's a little bit annoying. I mean, Infusionsoft does it, but I'm working with a client with Infusionsoft, and I'm great, and Infusionsoft's turning me even grayer. So depending on the size of it, it might become a tiny bit cumbersome, But you can have it set up in campaigns where you've got this email, which you don't have to change. You just send it out periodically to those people who didn't open.
Okay.
Didn't click.
So it's that much work. That's very smart. Okay.
My final point was that before you take me into the course to buy the full course, as I said, I didn't watch the video, so I don't know if it's in the video, but I feel like there's no proof or testimonials in the email.
There are in the videos. In the sales video, there's testimonials.
But the sales video is the next step after the email, right?
It's the fourth email.
It's the fourth email, which is the full course.
Yeah, for my full course, yeah. That's the sales video. And in that is testimonials. Oh, so maybe the
testimonials. Give me one sec. Email follow-up series, video 1, video 2. Where is the one with the sales video? Join my full training course, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm on that, but the testimonial...
They're in the middle. In the middle of the video.
But it's in the video and not in the email.
Right. So you would write them out.
I would have 2 or 3, 100%. Anything that can get me over to that video more should be used, because the testimonials are in the video, but I'll never see them if I don't get to the video.
Yeah.
Some sound bites of like people that you've gotten crazy good results with. I would almost lead into the fourth email with those testimonials, So that that proof, and then get them over to the video. I also notice it's a really small thing, but your formatting changes in your fourth email as well.
Oh, okay.
So your formatting goes from like big, bold, short emails. Now, obviously, your sales email should be longer. There's more information. But actually, at the moment, it's the font size is pretty small. There's nothing bolded. There's nothing underlined. You're expecting me to read this massive body of text, break it up, change your formatting, highlight your bold words, get some bullet points in there. You don't have to go the Evan Pagan narrow email, but definitely break it up for the skimmers. You know, what are the core points? If you don't read this whole email, what do you need to read to get you to click? So change that formatting a little bit, because I was almost like, is this email from the same person? Like it visually it looks different.
Yeah, it actually was written by a different copywriter. Yeah, the fourth video, you just sense this stuff intuitively. It's amazing, really. You know, the fourth one was a special. I got a copywriter friend of mine who's very successful, and he does only sales videos. So I had him write that last one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that, as I said, I think we've covered enough in terms of the funnel at the moment, but those are my points, and I'll be honest with you, I spent about 10 minutes having a look through it. I'm not going to say I spent 20 hours. This was just me this morning before the call going, okay, read those videos, and I made a list of notes, and that was it.
Wow, it's so impressive. How many businesses have you worked with? Like, would you say? How many, like, different owners and different businesses, different industries?
I've worked in a variety of different industries. I've primarily worked with people in the fashion and the lifestyle industries. I've worked with a lot of coaches. I tend to avoid the kind of woo-woo unicorn, we're going to manifest Mercedes coaches.
Okay.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. You know?
Yeah, that's not my thing either. Yeah.
I'm like, let's talk about results here, you know, not manifesting.
Yeah.
How many businesses have I worked with? I don't have a number, actually. I don't.
Do you go really deep with them? Is that what you do? You like get one and then you go super deep and like help them?
Here's what I find tends to happen.
Yeah.
I'll get recommended. I don't do very much marketing, which is what my job is this year, is to get out there. I tend to get most of my clients via word of mouth. I work for somebody. What tends to happen is they come in for a small job, and they're like, can you write this for me? Or like an example is I had a client that's got a really, really cool product. They manufacture in China. They've got their factory in China. They do some eco-friendly tech accessories. They wanted to get into REI, Urban Outfitters, stuff like that. So I did all of the corporate comms for them. Yeah. But then I just transformed it so that it was branded to them. And hence they're in REI, they're in Anthropology, blah, blah, blah. So I'll come in and I'll do a small piece. And I don't really do this so much anymore because I just don't really enjoy it. And I'll come in and we'll get on the phone and we'll talk. And I don't tend to hold things back where I'm like, I just want you to like book me for something big. I'll just leave it all on the table because I know most people don't, you know, they'll take the information, but they won't do anything with it. And they tend to come back and they're like, what are your retainer rates? How long can I keep you on for? And then I'll come in as a consultant and I generally tend to work with clients in ways where I come in as a consultant and we look at your business from a 10,000 foot, and we look at a view and where the holes are and where you can plug things up and where you can add more value, add more personality, extract more revenue from your existing clients rather than constantly be chasing to get new ones. And then I will take the pieces that I can do for you. So funnels, copy, comms, etc. And then I'll work with your team to help them realize the vision that we came up with. So I'll do a part and then I'll help you work with your team to do the rest. That's generally how it tends to work.
Okay. And you want to do more speaking?
It's a hybrid. I don't really know what to call it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a totally thorough overhaul of their business, right? It really is. It's much more than...
I don't really feel qualified to call myself a business consultant, you know, like, I don't know if I'm a business consultant as much as a strategist and a people consultant, you know, I show you how to engage with people and how to get them on board and how to get them to love you.
Yeah, but what is business today, you know? The business is...
That's pretty much it, isn't it? Yeah, you're right.
They're reaching out to you.
I haven't got an MBA, you know?
Yeah, they're reaching out to you because business has changed. So they wouldn't have reached out to you 10 years ago because you would have been not a business person. But business has become what you're doing. What you're doing is like the stuff they need.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I'm just always reluctant to put labels that I feel like I haven't like earned, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe there's a new label, but this is the new serious business, you know? It's not about how you dress. It's not about where you are. It's about getting, you know, like everything that you said, basically, right? Everything you teach them. How to get clients, how to understand those clients, how to service those clients, to help them to discover things that they need and to communicate with them, to build those things and fill those needs, and then to keep in touch with them. So you keep that tether going, you know what they're thinking. So, yeah.
Part of the reason why I kind of flipped my business model over a year or so ago is that I was working with a lot of businesses who just didn't care about the customer. I mean, they were like buying cheap products from like business, I get it. You know, buy low, sell high. They were buying really cheap products from China, and I would come in and help them sex the website. They didn't care that the product wasn't good.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't care that the customers were complaining. They didn't care that they didn't maximize the lifetime value of the customer. They were after the sale, and I was just like, I can't bring my zone of genius to this. So I stopped working with them. And it was a big decision, and I was like, oh, are you crazy?
No, I don't think you're crazy. I don't think you're crazy at all. I have the exact same philosophy. But you don't know which businesses don't care about the customers until you get really deep into it, right? And then you've already devoted time, you've invested time, and then you're like, geez, what do I do? Like, now I realize that this company doesn't care, and I want to work with companies care. I walk away every time.
So do I. I will honor my contract because I'm a professional, but at the end of it, I just won't renew, you know?
Yep.
And it's like, bye, Felicia. let's go somewhere else, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's exactly what would make me trust you, because you're coming up with real stuff. It's real, right? Fake stuff no one needs that anymore. There's no need for that. There's no market for that anymore.
And I think people know. They know when you don't care. Like, it comes across, and you don't have to be brown nosy and sleazy and like inauthentic and like, McDonald's, have a nice day, sir. But you do have to show people that you care about fulfilling their need in a way that is sustainable as well, you know, that's valuable, where they keep coming back to you. I want my clients to have clients for life, not for one sale.
Right. Cool. Well, how do they get in touch with you, and what's the best way to contact you?
Touch with me is I'm very approachable. You can get me at Stacey@brazenprofitlab.com. If you want to find out more about what I do, go to www.brazenprofitlab.com. It will give you I need to update that website, to be honest. I work with clients so much that I'm like the cobbler's kid, you know. My own website isn't even proper. But you can find me at www.brazenprofitlab.com, and I'm at Twitter, Stacey@brazencw.
Great. And I'll put those in the link below so you guys can find Stacey easily. And great. Yeah, sure. You're awesome. I mean, geez, really.
Thank you.
What any final parting words or anything that you want to say? Just your personal why, or anything you forgot that you want to add, or?
No, I guess the one thing I want to say is that care. Like, the more you care, the more you'll earn, you know. Keep caring. And we're getting into a place where sometimes people forget about the people that are behind the financial transactions. And I think if you put your heart into something and you care, you will win customers, as I said, for life, not just for that sale. Care.
Yeah, that covers a lot of things, doesn't it? Because when you care, you check that extra thing. You apologize when you make a mistake. You're alert and you're present in the moment when it's important, right? Yeah, that's.
And, you know, I found with this is that your customers as well, they give you extra leeway to like mess up. When you care and they know, you can actually make mistakes and they'll forgive you and stick around. You know, it's not much like and you're out. You know. because they're like, look, he or she's been bringing it for such a long time, and I know they care, and I know they're human and they're fallible, and like, it's no big thing when you make a mistake.
That's so true. I'll tell you one quick story was funny. This happened a couple times, but one was really funny. Somebody bought the product, China Cash buyers, right? And then it was an older person. They were in their 60s, and they thought that it was a bunch of DVDs were going to be delivered to their house. They didn't realize it was an online course. And so 3 weeks later, I got an email, and they said, they said, I just wanted to know, like, when can I expect to see DVDs? And I said, and they weren't even complaining at all. They're just like, when can I expect, And I said, oh, they're online. And they, oh, okay. And they went. Afterwards, I thought, that is amazing. They had watched my YouTube channel, and they trusted me so much that 3 weeks later, they're just thinking it's going to come and it's going to work out. And I thought, wow, that is so important, because when you're putting yourself out there and when you are sharing and caring, it's like other people feel it, and it makes your life better. It makes it easier, because afterwards I was like super grateful. I thought, this person really is awesome. And I did a couple, like extra calls with them, and it was great, so.
You just nailed it. Like that's the thing. When you find those people who are like your people and they've got you, like, I just like to do that one little extra thing that takes it over what they paid for, where they become this evangelist for you. They're like, that's my girl, and more importantly, that word of mouth is what happens there. Now they start, anyone that they can tell who they think you can help, they become your evangelist. I want evangelists everywhere,
Well, you got a new one over here in Asia, so yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, very good. Well, thank you so much, and thanks for that final word. That was you guys watching this. This is awesome stuff. This is stuff that can change your life in any business. So thanks for watching, and Stacey, thanks so much for sharing everything you shared. Yeah, and then going over everything. It was really, really great. Yeah.
I'm glad.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much. So check on our rest of our videos at paulsailor.com. I appreciate you taking the time. See you. Bye.